Yeah, man. Let's talk about the things that, that's really going on in society today, with our boys and girls, woman and man.
Crazy with a mix, man.
Let's talk gender. Talk to them.
Why can't I learn to be myself? Always searching for someone else. The pain of not knowing my will. I need somebody to free me. I need somebody to free me. I need somebody to tell me everything that I don't see. Free me. Let's talk gender. Maybe then we'll get to know ourselves a little better. Let's talk gender. Maybe then we'll get to know ourselves a little better. Let's talk gender.
Come back, we talk. Get up all the things that your man if you for open up. Your friend them said them not time, but we at let's talk gender, we got time. So make we be real, just free up your mind, share your experience, big up the youth one time. And don't fear to express yourself, no.
Let's talk gender. Maybe then we'll get to know ourselves a little better. Let's talk gender. Maybe then we'll get to know ourselves a little better. Let's talk gender. Maybe then we'll get to know ourselves a little better. Let's talk gender. Maybe then we'll get to know ourselves a little better. Let's talk gender. Maybe then we'll get to know ourselves a little better. Let's talk gender. Maybe then we'll get to know ourselves a little better.
Yeah, man. Let's talk about the things that, that's really going on in society today, with our boys and girls,
Records, baby.
woman and man.
Crazy with a mix, man.
Let's talk gender. Talk to them.
Why can't I learn to be myself? Always searching for someone else.
Welcome to Let's Talk Gender, a radio program brought to you by the Bureau of Gender Affairs in collaboration with Kyrie FM. I am your host, Chanel Leta, and today with me is one guest from Bureau of Gender Affairs, Miss Keisha Polidor. Our program today is basically we are going to be talking about gender-based violence, and Miss Polidor will be broadening this topic for us. Miss Polidor, can you tell us a little about yourself?
Good morning, listeners. As Ms. Lisa said, I'm Keisha Polidor. I'm the project officer of the Bureau of Gender Affairs. And we're talking about today gender-based violence, as we are still observing 16 Days of Activism, which actually ends on the 10th of December.
Okay. The United Nations is marking the 16 Days of Activism against gender-based violence from 25th of November to 10th December 2021 under the global theme set by the UN Secretary General's Unite campaign, Orange the World, End Violence Against Women Now. Nearly 1 in 3 women have been abused in their lifetime. In times of crisis, the numbers rise, as seen during the COVID-19 pandemic and recent humanitarian crises, conflicts, and climate disasters. A new report from UN Women, based on data from 13 countries since the pandemic, shows that the 2 in 3 women reported that they or a woman they know experienced some form of violence and are more likely to face food insecurity. While pervasive, gender-based violence is not inevitable. It can and must be prevented. Stopping this violence starts with believing survivors, adopting comprehensive and inclusive approaches that tackle the root causes, transform harmful social norms, and empower women and girls. Right now, we are going to take a quick break and we'll be back with you shortly.
Both records, baby.
You know, woman and man,
Crazy with a mix, man.
let's talk gender. Talk to them.
Why can't I learn to be myself? Always searching for someone else. The pain of not knowing my worth. I need somebody to free me. I need somebody to free me. I need somebody to tell me everything that I don't see. Free me. Let's talk gender. Maybe then we'll get to know ourselves a little better. Let's talk gender. Maybe then we'll get to know ourselves a little better. Let's talk gender.
Come back, we talk, it up all the things that your man fear for open up. Your friend them said them not time, but we at let's talk gender, we got time. Come back, we be real, just free up your mind, share your experience, big up the youth one time. And don't fear to express yourself, don't fear to express yourself, no.
Let's talk gender. Maybe then we'll get to know ourselves a little better. Let's talk gender.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Gender. Now, our program today is about gender-based violence. So, what do you think is gender-based violence? Because for me, I would think like it's maybe an act of, I'd say it would be an act of violence against children, but not really children alone, maybe adults, both men and women, maybe because of lack of normal expectations in society. Like people maybe expect them to act a certain way, and because they lack that, they get abused. Maybe let's say physically, mentally, emotionally. I know there are different types of abuse. So can you please broaden on this for me? What is gender-based violence?
As you said, well, you basically correct. But gender-based violence refers to harmful acts directed to an individual based on their gender. Mm-hmm. That's basically it.
So gender is, what's the real meaning of gender? Is it...
Continue, yeah.
What's gender, like female, male, or sex would be female or male?
Sex would be, as we say, female, male, and gender will be based on their social construct.
Okay.
So I am I'm a woman, but I identify as male. You understand? As we say, quote unquote, like, I don't say mal, but like the tomboyish kind of man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So gender-based violence is rooted in gender inequality, the abuse of power, and harmful norms. Gender-based violence, as we said earlier on, this Thursday, I believe, is Human Rights Day. So gender-based violence is a serious violation of human rights and a life-threatening health and protection issue. Currently, the International Human Rights Framework and jurisprudence recognizes rape as a human rights violation and a manifestation of gender-based violence against women and girls that could amount to torture. People who have experienced gender-based violence may suffer from different human rights violations, for example, right to life, freedom from torture and degrading treatment, freedom from discrimination, and the right to safety and security. So gender-based violence is in fact a violation of somebody's human rights.
Okay. So, what are the types of gender-based violence?
There's a lot.
Yes.
There is sexual violence, there's physical violence, there's emotional and psychological.
So, which one
Violence.
do you think that's the most common one, in your opinion?
In my opinion, I believe physical violence
Is most common?
is most common
Yes.
because we all know of,
We all know people, they're fighting and...
we all know these relationships where people fighting with
Yes.
each other. So I believe physical violence is the most common one. But we also have economic violence,
Yes.
which involves making or attempting to make a person financially dependent by maintaining total control over their financial resources, withholding access to money, and or forbidding attendance to school or employment. For example, your husband, okay, pandemic-wise, let's say the husband and wife lost her job. Husband is still working decent salary. Before the wife lost her job, she too had her own form of income. But now she's heavily dependent on her husband's income. Restrictions, lockdowns. Husband is frustrated at why he had to be spending his money.
Yes.
He had to pay bills and still give you money to go out with your little friends.
Yes.
He decides,
So it's no longer 50-50.
No, it's like...
So it's 90-10.
Yes. So he decides, well, I'm going to hold my money. You don't have to go nowhere. Where you going in the first place? It's COVID. Tell your friends. All you will talk on, let's say, Zoom, WhatsApp, video call. So the man withholds his money. There you go. You have no money. You're just home.
Yes, right now you're under pressure.
You're under pressure.
So you feel like doing things out of ordinary.
Yeah, now you're dependent on the
Yes.
man because he's the only form of income coming to the house.
Exactly.
So then we have psychological violence.
So okay, let me just interrupt you for a second. So in a case like that, sometimes psychological, I would like to say is psychological, like the person could maybe get mental, that could cause mental breakdown after a while.
For
Like seeing
psychological?
where like you was dependent on your husband
Yeah.
for your needs and wants, and right now he cannot provide it. So you could just get a mental
All right, now
breakdown.
you cannot provide it. I mean,
Yes.
you were working before the
Yes.
pandemic, and know that you lost your job, or they tell you can work, but you're going to get half your salary, and they say that half of your salary goes directly to the mortgage. So all those things can affect you. So you have no money, and you're dependent on your husband's money. Your husband is now telling you he's not giving you any money, so you're just going to be in the house. And then we have, as I said, psychological violence. Involves causing fear by intimidation, threatening physical harm to self, partner, or children, destruction of pets and property, mind games, forcing isolation from friends, family, school, and work. For that one, we're going to use the same husband and wife example. Yeah, we all know, like, when you're married, it starts off nice, honeymoon phase.
Yes.
Or you're in love and so forth. Then you want to go and see your mother. He might tell you, okay, you want to go this Sunday, we'll go next Sunday. Fine. Next Sunday, reach, let's go by my partners, we'll go the other Sunday. And then the other Sunday keeps on coming. Another Sunday. Then you realize a whole year you haven't seen your family. And you can't even tell yourself why you haven't seen your family. But you don't realize he's preventing you from seeing your family, seeing your friends. Then you have nobody. So what they feel like, when you have nobody, they can abuse you financially, sexually, physically. And who you're going to run to when you feel like you have nobody to run to? That means he's going to be your only source of comfort, even if that comfort you think you have is the same person abusing you.
Yeah.
So that's psychological. We have emotional violence. Includes undermining a person's sense of self-worth through constant criticism, belittling one's abilities, name-calling, verbal abuse, damaging a partner's relationship with their children, or not letting their partner see their friends or family. Well, as you can see, all of them link to each other. So emotional violence always bringing you down.
Mm-hmm.
You don't worth for you Chanel for Miss Lita, for example.
Yes.
You don't worth nothing. So long you're trying to do that. You just think they're gonna give you the raise. They don't believe in like telling you things, and afterwards somebody keep on telling you something over and over and over again. You might believe it, you know.
Yes.
Like even if you don't want to believe it, if my husband, the person with me every day, can tell me I don't worth it, or my partner, my wife, tell me,
And the people you look up to.
yeah,
Yes, the people you are with on a daily basis, and they keep on instilling those things in your head, in your mind, saying like you're not good enough. I mean,
yeah, it's
after
somebody.
a while you start to believe you're not good enough. You wouldn't even put effort. You feel like everything you do is just not worth it.
If somebody on
Yeah.
the road tell you, oh, you're not gonna be nothing, okay,
Yes.
as a complete stranger, it's somebody you're living with every day, reminding you that you're not going to be anything. After a while, you'll be like, well, if he living with me every day, he know what I'm capable of, and he telling me I'm not going to be nothing. You're going to believe it. So, as a form of emotional violence. Then we have physical violence, which is the one everybody most familiar with. We have the hitting, the slapping, the hair pulling, the biting, the shoving, the pinching. Yeah, you get in an argument with your partner at home. It could be the simplest things. Maybe you forget to iron his shirt for work, cook food, or when he coming from work, he see you still maybe washing his dinner late or her dinner late, and that trigger something.
Yes.
He might hit you in front of the children, or when the children go and bathe or go and sleep, might hit you and tell you why my house not clean, why my dinner was late, why my dinner was cold. Something might trigger. So we all know physical violence.
Okay. So, who are the main victims of gender-based violence? Do you believe are children more vulnerable to violence than adults, or what do you think? Who are the main victims of gender-based violence? Well, for me, I believe everybody are main victims. Anybody could be a victim of gender-based violence, to me, in my opinion. But in terms of the children, I know children are more dependable on their parents. So children can't live on their own. They can't feed themselves. So being that they are more dependent on their parents, I believe like they are more exposed to violence, because there are some parents that, run out of patience very quickly. Or sometimes it could be the way they are raised, the way they were raised. They sometimes it wasn't raised with love, or little things could cause them maybe to abuse the child, or any little thing like the child crying, like slap the child, like be quiet. These things, yes.
Yeah, but the main victims of gender-based violence are mainly women. Yeah, women and girls. I know people might say, "Well, boys get abused as well." But
boys get abused. You'd be surprised too. Boys get abused as well.
boys get abused. But the issue with boys being abused, they don't come forward.
Yes,
like
they're a little more silent about it.
They're more silent about it, because imagine. For example, we're gonna local example. We go on the block. No man, well, maybe a man who might do that. No man going to go on the block and say, "Fellas, my wife just beat me up."
Right. You won't hear that.
You won't hear that. First of all, the boy's gonna be like,
Neither won't you hear a young child, a little boy come and say, "My daddy abused me." You might more hear like, "Mommy give me a beating."
yeah.
But you wouldn't really hear "Daddy abused me" or "My uncle abused me," or you wouldn't hear that like
'Cause
that.
if a boy go on the block and say his wife or his girlfriend beat him,
You know,
he not gonna get no empathy from his partners.
no empathy.
He not gonna say, well,
Or sometimes, no matter if they try to emphasize in front of him, behind his back, it will be a different.
yeah, they're going to
Yes.
belittle him and tell him, "How you can make her hit you? A man will
Yes.
beat you, hit her back."
Yes,
So
yes.
forth. So you like, if a man being abused, he not gonna come and say, "Well, I'm being abused, so forth, so forth. Because a man's supposed to be the head, quote unquote, of the household.
Yes.
So not just beat. What if pandemic, the wife has her job, and now the man doesn't have his job anymore, and the wife fine, she going to withhold her income from the husband. It's vice versa, but you
Yes.
don't often see men coming and say, my wife, my girlfriend abuse me,
No, you won't find that.
because no one wants a bruised ego. Because
The
naturally,
men sometimes walk away instead.
Men supposed to be stronger. So to have
Yes.
your woman, your wife, your girlfriend, your partner physically abuse you, not look. I don't say it doesn't look right, but men kind of really openly go and voice and say that.
Yes.
You
But
more find a woman.
and in a situation like that again, is still gender expectations. Is gender expectations we call it. Like we'd expect the man, as you said, to be the head of the household. So once again, if you're married to a man and you see that he's lacking that part, with supplying for the household and stuff, providing for the household, it might cause a little problem, because for you that's not your expectation as a woman. That's where all that comes in again. So you'll think like the man would be in charge, and you as the woman might be the housewife. Or sometimes, like when you get your salary, it's just maybe to pay, as we say, 50-50.
Yeah.
And then you see you doing more than the man, so it's like it would give you,
Yeah, when you're more of the
Yes.
man, you feel like you have a right.
Yes.
No, to treat the man how you want. But that's not the case. It's still a form of gender-based violence, even if you're not physically hurting the man. But economic violence, you're making more than him now due to the pandemic. And so, yes, the financial strain is on you.
Yeah.
But end of the day, let's say the man is home. He's with the children, famous Google Classroom, supervising. He preparing their lunch.
Of course.
If we might throw some clothes in the in the washing machine, clean the yard. Naturally, that's a woman's job. They might
Yes.
say, because woman at home.
Yes.
But not a man is doing unpaid labor. The wife looking at him like, so I have to,
Like what you do is not enough.
like, what you do, not enough.
Yes.
And you see how the roles are reversed. Because when a woman is home, taking care of the children, washing, cooking, doing everything, people don't recognize that.
No.
But when they shoot on the other foot, it looks like the man not contributing.
Yes.
So,
I understand. So, what challenges are children facing right now during the COVID times? Like, what challenges at home you think? Like,
I'm facing a lot of challenges at home. Just adjusting still to being at home. Because
yes, the online classes.
some may say, but they're home for so long. But not everybody learns at the same pace. So being online or having no one to help you is a struggle for children.
Yes.
And if that child or children lives in an abusive home, that itself is a problem.
That's a problem.
Because you home trying, you already know you're struggling to keep up with your online classes. Then you have mommy and daddy fighting right next to you. Or you can hear them from upstairs, hear them from downstairs, wherever they are. That's just struggling. That's traumatizing for the child, because I have to struggle to learn, and I still feel in a kind of a way that mommy and daddy fighting. So my safe place no longer safe for me.
Yes.
Because I can't be with my friends, and I see mommy and daddy fighting every day, 7 days a week, 24/7.
It's crazy.
So just imagine what I'm doing to the child.
And the results of that, we're going to speak about it in a while, right after the break. Yes, break this.
So let's stop gender. Maybe then we'll get to know ourselves a little better.
talk about the things that, that's really going on in society today, with our boys and girls,
Bobo's records, baby.
Woman and man.
Crazy with a mix, man.
Let's talk gender. Talk to them.
Why can't I learn to be myself? Always searching for someone else. The pain of not knowing my worth. I need somebody to free me. I need somebody to free me. I need somebody to tell me everything that I don't see. Free me. Let's talk gender. Maybe then we'll get to know ourselves a little better. Let's talk gender. Maybe then we'll get to know ourselves a little better. Let's talk gender.
Come make we talk. It don't all the things that your man if you for open up. Your friend them said them not time, but we at let's talk gender, we got time. So make we be real, just free up your mind, share your experience, pick up the youth one time. And don't fear to express yourself, no.
Let's talk gender. Maybe then we'll get to know ourselves a little better. Let's talk gender. Maybe then we'll get to know ourselves a little better. Let's talk gender. Maybe then we'll get to know ourselves a little better. Let's talk gender. Maybe then we'll get to know ourselves.
Welcome back to our program Let's Talk Gender. Our topic today is gender-based violence. Miss Polido, can you tell me why men don't speak up against gender-based violence? You spoke about it earlier today, but just to broaden a little.
Why men don't speak up against gender-based violence? Because most times, men are the main perpetrators of gender-based violence. So you wouldn't find men going and say, okay, look at it like that. Tom had been physically abusing his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Tom not going around saying stop gender-based violence. He might, that's Tom conscience.
Mm-hmm.
But Tom not going to be rallying and say stop gender-based violence when Tom know he's doing gender-based violence against his wife. So then main perpetrators for gender-based violence, so they will not speak up against gender-based violence.
Mm-hmm.
And two, what I believe why men don't speak up is because that's not, how to say it, I feel like men don't believe that's their job to speak up against gender-based violence. Because remember, men are supposed to be the head of the household, the protector, and all that you think a man's supposed to be. But end of the day, not because you're the head of the household, you have to hit me. You have to withhold finances from me. And if a man go and speak up against gender-based violence and say, stop hit your wives and your girlfriends, when he go to work, wherever he go, sit down in a bar, wherever he go, you might hear men tell him, but me still want to tell her how to love your wives and how to treat our wives and da, 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 da. If I want to hit her, hit her. Like, how men speak sometimes. So you don't want to get that backlash.
Yes.
To know that they're fighting for a good cause, but that's not how. Some people might say that thing, if he don't love me, he don't hit me kind of thing. That really happens,
Yes.
So for a man to come and say that, then a man checking like, but I hitting my wife, shouldn't talk about it. Where she can go, she can't go nowhere.
Right.
So you know those
So like
things.
they feel like they're in charge, they're in control.
They're in charge. So when a man
Yes.
go and find that, you want to tell me, you telling a man you're no longer the head of the household. Your wife in charge. No one wants. Some men don't want to hear their wife in charge. They want to know they are the head of the household. They can do what they want, how they want to their wife or their partner. But at the end of the day, I don't know how it's supposed to be. It happens how it's supposed to be. Like I tell you earlier on, like if a man goes on the block and see his wife or his girlfriend abusing him in whatever form, where's the empathy from his partners? They're not going to tell him, well, you can go to the Bureau of Gender Affairs, for help. No. They're not going to tell him that. They're going to tell him, you should hit her back.
Yes.
But when man, you be in that's how you can do that. Like, you how the people on the block speak. So, they're not going to speak up. They're going to, like, support from the back. But we know they support from the back. We need at the front.
Yes. Okay. So what are the long-term effects of gender-based violence?
The long-term effects, the
Well,
consequences.
on children and women and men.
And everybody.
Yes.
We have STDs, STIs. Let's start there. Sexual violence. Your husband, you think your husband, your partner is faithful to you and only you. Then one day you discover he has not. He got something from someone, he brought it back home. Now, for the rest of your life, you have whatever STD or STI you have. You have death, which is very immediate. He may hit you the wrong way, wrong place, and you die. That's very real. There's no like, my mother always say, there's no kind of a hitting game. She's not like hitting game. You hit her, she hits you back.
Yes.
But then, let's say in the tussle at home, he hits you somewhere and then you collapse and you never wake up and your children live without a mother or your children live without a father.
That happens.
That happens. We have PTSD, where
What's PTSD?
post-traumatic stress disorder, where, as I say, for years you've been abused physically over and over again by your husband, partner. You finally break free, you move on. But before, let's say, you find a new person, but before he touch you, you flinch. Before he, let's say you did dinner late, I sorry, like, the dinner was late.
Like you're in fright.
You always on your toes, because back then, when your dinner was late,
you'd get abused for it.
When you didn't wash or iron on time, you get abused for it. So now that you had the courage to leave that relationship and you enter a new healthy relationship, you don't even know how to act.
So
because you're not accustomed to that kind of a feeling.
Okay, so in a situation like that, would you advise the person to get counseling? Like for maybe the person and the partner to get some family counseling or something? Or I guess they maybe will have a small talk or...
Yeah, I would advise anybody to get counseling. Counseling will be good for anybody. And if you have PTSD over abusive relationship, yes, you should get counseling. Because first of all, you should get counseling even before you get into the new relationship.
Yes.
But we cannot really tell how things work.
Yes. It's
So
up to the person to come forward themselves.
Yeah.
Yes,
you can't
because
force
we
anybody.
cannot watch somebody and say, oh, you're being abused and you need counseling.
If
They
it's-
have to take on their own and come forward and tell their story.
If it's on your hand, like let's say I come to work tomorrow, you see me in the office with a black eye.
Yeah.
I say, Chanel, I fall long down the step. Cool.
But
Fall down the step.
knowing me, Keisha, you not ask, but how you fell? But what side of the step you fell? But how come it's right there exactly?
And then next day, you seen I have a long skirt. When you see when they say the fan blow it, you see I have a blue mark on my thigh. Okay, 2 days in a row.
You
Then
fall
the
in
third
long
day,
step.
I fall on a step again. Then the third day, you see something else.
Yeah.
Then you might ask a question. Because you're seeing it.
Yes.
You're seeing the marks on my body.
Yes.
But you're not seeing the emotional abuse.
No.
You're not seeing the...
And you're not telling me anything. I'm not seeing anything strange on your face, like saying like you told me it's a fall, so I'll think it's a
I fall on 3 times a week.
yeah,
down
3
my
times
step.
a
We can another effect. We have suicidal thoughts and behavior. Just being abused every day for years. You may want, and you have nobody, because you may think you have nobody to go to. But I say there's always somebody you can go to. Even if you haven't spoken to your mother, your auntie, in 5 years, if you just call and say, Auntie Joan, I don't think Auntie Joan will tell you to come home. But when you feel like you have nobody and you want to leave but you have nobody, you may have suicidal thoughts and behaviors. Not like you want to end your life and leave your children behind, but you feel like you have nobody, you have nowhere out. Let's say you're not working, you're financially dependent on the man. Well, let me just end the situation now. Yeah, and then you, as I say, you end up, you commit suicide and you die. And then, and people like to say, for a man, you're killing yourself? No. You don't know what I'm going through within my household. I cannot, the same thing you can deal with, I cannot deal with it. Me not working, cannot give my children, yes, their father provided for them, but I want to go out and buy a gift for my child, but I can't do that. I don't have no money. So let me just end the situation right there, right now, and just... Then we have shame, self-hate, and self-blame as an effect of gender-based violence. Because after you've been abused over and over again, after a while, but it must be my fault. Let's say you and your husband living together. Every day, he finds some reason to, let's say, hit you. But if I wake up 10 minutes earlier and do that, maybe he wouldn't hit me. If I had make the children do this, they wouldn't hit me. He just shouldn't have hit you in the first place.
So you're trying to make excuses for you.
Yeah, excuses for you and blame yourself. Like
blame yourself.
You are the reason why he hits you. But the point is, he shouldn't be hitting you in the first place. Yes, we have infection, we have disability, we have chronic pain, eating or sleeping disorders. All that are consequences.
What about for the children? What do you think would happen? What are the long-term effects for the children? Like especially sometimes maybe in school, it could affect their learning for real. That's one of them. I know for sure it would affect their learning. And their way of coping with others, communication skills, maybe with others, like let's say their peers, their family relatives. Yeah.
Well, for children, I believe that children learn what they see.
Yes.
Yeah, that's basic socialization of a child. They learn what they see. So if your child is home witnessing mommy and daddy fighting, when they go to school, or mom and daddy shouting at each other, like being rough with each other, when they go to school, that's what they might do.
And even if the parents themselves, they start to shout to their parents as well, because that's how the parents communicate with them. So they start to do it too.
When they go at school, they end up being the bullies. And then when you investigate, why that child is so aggressive to other children, some teachers might not notice that, but some teachers might be like, I find John is very aggressive.
Literally.
Just to say, pass me the pencil, pass me the book, he's very aggressive.
Yes.
Then investigation, and you realize at the home, that's the energy of what the child is seeing.
So who usually does the investigation in these cases? Welfare.
For those cases, I believe it's welfare, but not. Bureau doesn't do investigations like that.
No.
So almost like it might be welfare division.
Okay.
And if you're looking at long term, when the child gets old enough to have a relationship of their own, they might not choose a person that is good for them. They might choose what they see, what they saw at home. So if they saw at home daddy hitting mommy every day,
That's what they choose.
that's what they're going to choose or going to attract.
Yeah, or think that's okay, or
Or
something
think that's okay. That
Yes.
if Sam hitting me, Sam must love me, because when I was a little girl, mommy never told me that wasn't okay. Mommy's still there with daddy, beating her every day. So that means it must be okay for now Sam to hit me, because my daddy's all those years. So your child going to grow up thinking like abuse is a
It's
form of
okay.
love, when naturally that's not the case.
Yeah. So my last question for you: how can society help in the fight against gender-based violence?
By speaking up.
By speaking up. Yes.
Yeah, if you see it, say something, advocate for it. When Bureau of Gender Affairs having activities to stop gender-based violence, volunteer.
And right now we are having an activity.
Right now, yes, we are having an
Yes,
activity.
16 days of activism. We're doing painting.
Yes.
Who participated? The Brownies?
Yes, the second Rosa Bromley Park actually came in and wrote gender-based violence messages on our little boards. We have 2 boards at our office where you can come in and paint your message of gender-based violence and in solidarity with the victims who have been affected by gender-based violence. So you can come into our office. COVID protocols are in place, and paint on our mural, because it's 6 days of activism against gender-based violence.
Yes, it is.
Which ends on December 10th for Human Rights Day.
Yes. Okay, so I think we came to the end of our program.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks, Miss Polydor, for always helping to raise awareness for gender-based violence. It's real and it affects individuals daily. Let us continue to empower each other and help fight against gender-based violence. Now, before we end our program, we'll be having a 15-minute soft launch for a new children's book offered by a special person. Her name is Hattie Prince Leslie. So she should be calling the radio at any time now, and she would be hosting her new book.
To know ourselves a little better. Let's talk gender.
Come back, we talk, it up all the things that your man if you for open up. Your friend them said them not time, but we at let's talk gender, we got time. Come back, we be real, just free up your mind, share your experience, big up the youth one time. And don't fear to express yourself, no.
Let's talk gender. Maybe then we'll get to know ourselves a little better. Let's talk gender. Maybe then we'll get to know ourselves a little better. Let's talk gender. Maybe then we'll get to know ourselves a little better. Let's talk gender. Maybe then we'll get to know ourselves a little better. Let's talk gender. Maybe then we'll get to know ourselves a little better. Let's talk gender. Maybe then we'll get to know ourselves a little better.
Yeah, man. Let's talk about the things that that's really going on in society today, with our boys and girls.
And we're back with Let's Talk Gender. As Miss Lita said earlier on, we're expecting a call from Miss Hattie Prince Leslie, who will be doing a soft launch of a new children's book. Will be launching on December 11th. I think this coming Friday or Saturday, to my knowledge. But before we introduce our guests via the phone, we have 2 clips to play just to tell you what the book is about, really.
My entry into the Stories by Children book was a poem about my mother. I chose to write a poem because it was the best way to express my feelings on the topic I had chosen. The reason I wrote about my mother is because she had recently returned from studying in Cuba. So I wanted to dedicate my poem to her. I faced only one challenge: trying to find rhyming words. I am proud to be one of the writers of this fantastic book, and I encourage people to buy the book. The official launch is on December 11th, after which it will be available at the local bookstores. But for now, it's out on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. You can keep up with us at storiesbychildren.org. Remember, this is a great gift for children, grandchildren, nephews, nieces, and even adults. Hi, I'm Manny Henry, an 11-year-old 6th grader at Pioneer Preparatory School. Since I was young, I loved to read stories. They have such meaning and give me quite the imagination. But I was still a bit skeptical about submitting my entry to Stories by Children. When I finally did, I knew it was a good decision. My advice to children getting into reading, especially now in lockdown, is that reading gives you somewhere to go when you have to stay where you are, because you're taken into the minds of the characters and you feel what they feel.
Yeah, man. Let's talk about the things that, that's really going on in society today, with our boys and girls,
Bobo's records, baby.
Woman and man.
Crazy with a mix, man.
Let's talk gender. Talk to them.
Okay, we have on the line here with us Miss Hattie Prince Leslie, who's one of the contributors of the children's book. She's going to give us further information before the launch on December 11th. Miss Leslie?
Yes, good morning. Good morning to your listeners. Good morning to everyone.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Yes, FCFC Stories by Children is a group which originated from our family club. And this production, where we have some 17 children with ages ranging from 4 to 15 years, have compiled a book entitled Stories by Children. This book has a wide variety of writing styles: poems, short stories, and other pieces of writing that the children have come up with. The theme for this book is the family. And so we are a group based from our parents, the patriarch and the matriarch of this group, Ferdinand and Cyrilla Prince, from the village of Granfort, and the siblings, their children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and great-great-grandchildren are part of this publication. So this FCSC Stories by Children will be launched on Saturday 11th from 2:30 p.m. at the Rosalie Echo Resort. The children have participated at their level, and they were encouraged after we came up together in January and decided one of our main projects for the year is going to be the publication of this book. And so we are very, very happy. We are elated that we have come to the point where the book will be launched on Saturday 11th. And at that launching, we will have a brief overview of the book and the group. We will have remarks by the chairperson of our small committee, SBC, Mrs. Valina Eunice, and our president of the club, Mrs. Yolanda John Baptiste. They will make contributions to the program. We will also have the Minister of Education, Honorable Octavia Alfred, who will give a few brief remarks. The authors themselves will do presentations. Imani Henry is one of the authors, and he will be presenting his poem at the book launch, and the others will be presenting via the video, because 11 of the children who are part of that compilation are living in Dominica currently, but there are 6 from the diaspora. We have 1 from Barbados, 1 England, and the remaining 4 children are living in the United States of America. So they are unable to be at the book launch, but they will be able to bring out their short writing pieces at the book launch. We have guest performance by the healer, and basically the program will highlight the children and their stories. So the book already is in bookstores. It's already on Amazon, and those in the diaspora and even in Dominica who wish to order their book on Amazon can do so, but we will have the books available for sale in Dominica. One of the things that we decided to do, because the children are spread all over, we decided to use their signatures on a bookmark. So anybody who is purchasing a book will receive a bookmark with the 17 signatures of the children.
So where locally can we purchase the books?
The books will be purchased from family members of the family club, and also we will have it available at Jay's bookstore.
Okay.
But most of the book sales will be from members of the FCFC club. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Miss Hattie Prince Leslie, for promoting your new book, which will launch on Saturday, December 11th.
Yes, thank you. And we hope that we will get a lot of support from the public, because we also, one last thing is that the book publication is going to be an annual activity. So next year, maybe earlier, the book launch, because all that was put back because of the pandemic. You know, we were supposed to launch the book in September, but we had to put it further down because of the pandemic. So next year, we are inviting children from the general public Dominica, because we want to promote the children, we want to promote their work. So we will be having an opportunity, make it available for non-FCFC club members and family, and the general public will be able to send in entries that we will select, and then it will be a publication for children of Dominica. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Miss Leslie, and I hope everyone goes and support
Yes.
Stories by Children, which will launch
Yes.
on Saturday at 2 p.m.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for
Have a
calling.
blessed day. Welcome.
Okay, see you next time on Let's Talk Gender. That would be when, Keisha? Sometime in January?
Yes, our next program will be in January.
Yes. Okay. Have a nice week. Thank you. Bye.
Maybe then we'll get to know ourselves a little